one thing I'll never forget is sitting down for my first meeting with Westfield, and
Yeah.
they throw your quote in the bin and say, sign here if you want to do the work.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay.
Oh, that was the
Can I
negotiation.
just phone a friend here?
Yeah. Well, thank you for tuning into the Puzzle Factory. Today, I'm joined by Sam Groombridge, one of the owners of Big Bang Energy Solutions, I believe, in Whangārei.
That's it.
Yeah. How are you, mate?
Good.
Bloody good. Well, thanks for coming down.
Not a problem.
I know you made good time this morning.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. So, do you just want to start off by telling us sort of where you're from, where you grew up, all that sort of stuff, mate?
Yeah, so grew up in Whangārei. We moved up there when I was 10-ish. Went to school up there. Did my...
Were you born down here?
No, south. South, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Palmerston North.
Oh, yeah.
Families from down there. And then made our way up to Whangārei, sort of followed Dad's work. And, both Tobes and I went through school up there. And
What were you guys, Carmo or something?
we ended up in Carmo, went to a little area school just out, which, it was cool.
Yeah, there's a few up there,
Little
like
country school.
Mangataroto and
Tauranga.
Mangapai and that.
Yep.
Yeah, I know where you're at.
Yep. No, so that was a good time. Went up there, then went down to Waikato, studied mechanical engineering.
Yep.
Moved back to Whangārei after that for a little bit. Tried out as a refrigeration tech.
Yeah.
Got to the point where we realised that I was colour impaired.
Ah,
And that's why you sound surprised that
the old...
I'm not actually a Sparky.
Yeah, the colourblind Sparky move, eh?
I mean, the red, green and black's pretty fucking easy.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought I'd make it further than a minute without dropping an F-bomb. But, so went down that track. Ended up staying on for a year or so as like a trade assistant.
Yep.
Really liked the sort of the idea of air conditioning, refrigeration, that sort of stuff. Had done my mechanical engineering and then had an opportunity to go into project management cadetship, but meant I had to move down to Auckland.
Yeah.
So moved down there.
Who was that with?
That was through Climatech.
Oh, right. Okay. Yep.
And they I either did a good job or a bad job because they broke the mold of that and scrapped it after I finished. So
Yeah.
they could probably take it either way.
Yeah, nice.
And then carried on project management with them for a while.
Yeah.
And was just doing Auckland, high-rise, ventilation, schools, that sort of stuff. Then moved to another company as a contract manager, which there was me and a boss.
Yep.
Me and the manager. It was going through a pretty interesting transition. And I started and basically got a cell phone, a set of car keys and a credit card. And I was managing a $3 million aircon install for a mall in Palmerston North.
Nice. Okay.
And that sort of set the standard for the next 10 years of my trade, I guess.
Yeah.
Just managing weird and wonderful ventilation and air conditioning projects around New Zealand.
Yeah, because that would have been a bit of a baptism of fire on that first one, wouldn't it? You would have been shitting yourself, right?
100%, but you just sort of fall in the deep end and just work it out.
Yeah.
And it really carved a good path for me, so makes this small business stuff, which we've ended up in, apart from the numbers side of it, the whole actual management of it is quite straightforward for me.
Yeah, it's just playing with your own money when it goes wrong.
Yeah,
it's the stressful part, right?
It's different when it's your number on the table.
Yeah.
Which it sort of adds another side to it,
Yeah.
And,
So when this is just me being ignorant, but when you said you did mechanical engineering, is that literally mechanical ventilation and stuff?
No. So it's sort of everything goes from like steel structures, all sorts of different.
Okay,
bits
so
and
it's
pieces.
like the whole.
So it's broad, but yeah, I went down the thermodynamics path,
Okay.
and you sort of go down a few different avenues, and
Yeah.
you could end up welding inspectors and all sorts of stuff like that if you
Okay.
wanted to.
Okay, so it was pretty broad, and then you kind of specialised.
Yeah,
into
the first year is sort of like the shotgun approach, and then you sort of hone in on what you want to get done.
Yeah, nice. So you were obviously down here working for a while for Climatech,
Yep.
sort of cutting your teeth on all the project management and stuff like that.
Finding my way around this
And then
rabbit warren.
straight back up to the Whangārei for some to start the business, or
No, well, my wife and I were down here for at least, I was here for 15 years,
yeah,
and she was down here for 10 or so,
okay,
and then Tobes has been just in Northland his life, he's
Okay, so he
done a
did-
bit of a mission overseas, but
yeah.
um,
This is obviously your brother who you
Yep,
own the business
yep,
with.
yep. So he's the electrical side of it, I
Yep.
guess. He's the hands-on.
Yeah,
I'm sort of the management / aircon side of it, and
yeah,
general cable puller, slow everyone
Yeah,
down
yeah,
when I get the opportunity.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he's been a Sparky for 20-something years now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So what triggered you into making the move back up and starting the business?
It got to a point where I was sitting there and I was like getting pretty, I guess I just got in a rut.
Yeah,
And I thought to myself, had an opportunity to buy a house up there, bought a house up there, moved to the house, was sort of in the middle of sort of transitioning between leaving Auckland and starting the business up there. I ran the business I ran Tobes for a year. He was just a man in a van,
yep,
sort of like the easy way to go out on your own, with
the quintessential local
Yep.
setup Sparky.
Yep. He's still that, like he ends up doing these odds and sods for the local yokels, and they love him, and but it was quite easy, it was just in and out. It was like a big bucket.
Yeah.
We were doing jobs on the weekends to get we sort of grew it organically.
Yep.
Didn't borrow anything to sort of get going,
It's always a great start.
yeah, we had what do you need? You've got all your tools.
Yeah.
We had a van.
Yeah.
He was just turning around doing bits and pieces.
And then obviously going back to where you grew up, you would have known heaps of people.
Yeah, well, Tobes, I sort of, I didn't have as many contacts as I did everywhere else in the country, It was like, I could probably find someone to do a ventilation or a heat pump job in Dunedin or the South Island quicker than I could find
you just
a
built
builder
that.
to do a pre-wire for in Whangārei,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that grew though. Once the word got out, Tobes had a good group of mates saying that they're all sort of in that chippy avenue.
Yeah.
They've been great for us, like we've sort of built good relationships, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So how long ago was that now that you started the business?
I moved back in 2019.
Okay.
So
Okay.
Tobes, I think he worked for Laser.
Yep.
He was subbing back to Laser to finish sort of quite a large high-end house.
Yep.
And he was just basically doing what he was doing, but with a different T-shirt on.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
And as different opportunities popped up, he'd go and take care of that and bits and pieces. And then we ended up doing some group housing stuff.
Yep.
Which got to a point where we got our first guy who was one of Tobes' apprentices from Laser.
Yep.
And they were, they get on like a house on fire. They're like two brothers almost.
Yeah,
and
mate.
it sort of all got from there. And as I could see, there was enough capacity there for me to hop in, whether it was, because the overheads are minimal.
Yeah.
You don't need much to keep a machine moving. And then we just got it to a point where it was quite lean. And then I just jumped in. I was sort of half management, half on the tools.
Yeah.
we had the ability of doing a few heat pumps then, and then it just sort of the rest is history. Yeah.
Cool. So it's like the dream sort of organic story. Like you didn't go in going, we're going to take over the world. You just started off nice and casual, and then
And that was one thing that I definitely knew from what I was doing. You don't need to be, there's a big pie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just need to be doing your slice of it pretty well.
Yeah.
And for those first few years, all that happened was it was on back of Tobes' rep, like he's like, oh, yeah, mate, get Tobes to do the work.
Yeah. So reputation is everything with it,
Yeah.
For that organic growth, anyway.
And like he's definitely got like that good bastard sort of.
I've still not met him, mate.
He's a hard man to tie down. He's like catching smoke with a net. But find him at the local pub in Waipu, I'd say.
Oh yeah. Is that the spot? That
cards night? No, darts night in his garage on a Wednesday. That's about it.
What's that? The Waipu Tavern?
Oh. Benches around a couple of them.
I think I've been in there once, many years ago.
Yeah.
So what were the were there any sticking points when you first started up? What was the most difficult stuff to navigate?
I actually did a fair bit of, I forget his name, Andrew. He was a Sparky who did the Peter Pits at the time.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I was doing the hoods and the thing, and I met him, and we were on all of these things all around the country together.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, look, we're starting up this Sparky thing. And he goes, oh, I'm a member of this thing called the Trade Group. So I came and met Tate. And so we sort of became a member from day one.
Okay.
Without, so as we started the whole taking it seriously thing, we had some processes there that were complete rubbish. And catapults sort of come in.
Yeah.
From get-go, it's probably a pretty good way to learn that side of things.
Yeah.
I had a good understanding of electrical from sort of like a higher level. Wasn't a Sparky, like as you're managing we did a mountain of supermarkets.
Yeah.
That was my role. And you got Sparkies, you got plumbers, you got duct installers, all that sort of stuff. So you're sort of jiggling all these things together, and you get an understanding of everything to some point.
Yeah.
But then when you sort of go down into a little bit, dig down into it, still a lot to learn. And I remember the first time Tobes rang me, sent me into Russell's to go and get something, and it was some MCB or something like that. And I walk in the door and I'm just like, fuck is this place?
Yeah. There's a few options in there.
Yeah. So I just put my hand up and, sort of learn by.
But what about on the, because you guys would have had the trade side of it down.
Yep.
But what about everything around that, like the actual business side and all the stuff that you might not know?
Well, that was good for me because I'd been running. Effectively, I was the second in charge of a business that turned over 8 to 10 mil, depending on what year it was, and
you were exposed to like ordering, running guys.
I was running all the contract side of it. I had a project manager under me.
Yeah.
I was in charge of invoicing.
Right.
I was in charge of quoting.
Yeah.
To an extent. All variations, document management, contract management. I remember vividly once, one thing I'll never forget is sitting down for my first meeting with Westfield, and they throw your quote in the bin and say, sign here if you want to do the work.
Yeah.
Just okay.
Oh, that was the negotiation.
Can I just phone a friend here?
Yeah.
This woman's bloody hard, mate.
Yeah, you're paying us $100,000 to do the job. Cheers.
Yeah. And you'll be on time.
Yeah, I don't, because obviously kind of what I try to do a lot on this podcast is kind of backfill all the little bits that it takes to run a business outside of being on the tools, you know what I mean? Because I was very lucky, kind of like what you had. So I had those project management positions and was office based and dealt with a lot of quoting, invoicing, all that sort of stuff. But there's the majority of guys out there go straight off the tools into it, and you go, like, that is such a steep learning curve.
Yeah.
There's no roadmap for it.
No.
And
there probably is, but
where
at that point you're not going to listen to it. You're
Yeah,
like,
you know better.
mate, I can get $70 an hour.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
It's not actually $70 an hour.
Yeah. Might
Next
get
thing you
12
know,
out
you're
of that if you're lucky.
Yeah. When you work out the fact you're working 70 hours a week and
Yeah. Because
charging for 30, then
yeah, 100%. Like financial literacy's a massive one. Like, you know,
and like even what are we 6 or 7 years in for me?
Yeah.
Learning constantly.
Yeah, totally.
Those business development courses that we got put through, well, not put through, but the sort of opportunity to do with Jeremy, they were awesome. And first year I went, I was like, holy, took a mountain of stuff back. You know, I was just like, ready to go.
100%. He opened your eyes.
And then the second year, I was like, okay, you know, we've covered over a few of the same things. You know, he's drumming down on this and this. You should probably just pay a bit of attention. Third year I went, I was like, you know, do I need it? I went and I was like, okay, that definitely applies to me. Da-da-da. And I'm just like, sort of took the approach like, you just can't stop. I guess asking for help, or not, maybe not asking for help, but being open to learning.
Yeah, totally. Well, I just
because as soon as you do, there's going to be something that turns up, right? That you miss the boat on, and you know.
I just think the minute you stop trying to like educate yourself further or better your knowledge, you've kind of stagnated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's so much to learn. Like, you know, it's like anything that you try and master. I mean, I don't know if any of us will ever master business, but the more you know, the more you realize what
it's
you
a
don't
good challenge,
know.
though, right?
Oh yeah, it's fun.
And I think it's a challenge that sort of keeps me interested.
Yeah.
Fucking stressful sometimes, you know, like
yeah,
when it's your, like you say, when it's your dollars that are paying the bills, and you've got some, you know, we got to a point now where we've got some boys, and it's like
it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, like people's, well, you know, they're them getting by is sort of on you doing your job well, so. Yeah,
and you're lying awake at night going,
I haven't had
what
that
about their wife and their kids? And,
you
know,
I've had a few of those moments in my time, but
I mean, but that's why it's such a privilege or an advantage to have had those types of roles in another company, because you're essentially getting to practice with somebody else's dollars.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul Stewart.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear what you mean. It is good to sort of almost have like a safety net under you.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously learning and you're training and you're not, you know, but God, I just feel for the people who go out there and do it off their own back and have to do all the research, find the people to ask, etc. You know what I mean? So what? Obviously, we've been through a pretty shit period in the economy recently for New Zealand, but from what I've seen, Whangārei's kind of charged through. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes and no. Like, we've got a lot of mates that are chippies and are hurting. The group housing stuff's real dry up there. We're lucky enough to be working on some big high-end houses that are they tick through, you know, like and they're long contracts.
Well, that's when the rich spend money, right? When the
economy's
down.
Everything's on sale.
Get a deal,
And we've managed to venture out and get a couple of commercial jobs, which are quite big chunks, and one of them's really pulled us through, you know, like it's
nice.
When you only got a small business, it's quite a whack of your turnover, you know.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be doing 500 houses or whatever people think. But, you know.
But at the same time, though, it is amazing how much work you can get through with a reasonably small team.
Yep. Yeah, and keeping the team lean.
Yeah.
I've found we got up to seven something Sparky. Well, not Sparkies, but, you know.
Yeah, on the tools.
Mix. It's just getting, you know, the numbers are all just getting up.
So what are you running now?
What have we got at the moment? I'm on ACC, which is good. Tobes, Conrad, Liam, and the apprentice Ari.
Yeah, okay.
Wife does the books.
Yeah.
For the most part, keeping that in shape. And I just sort of float in between.
And
usually
find the new work. Keep the boys running.
Yeah. I'd probably say that I'm maybe 70% on the tools.
Okay.
70% in the office.
Yeah. So how long you got left on this?
Oh, it's just niggly, man. I've got no strength. It's very restricted in its movement.
And that was a biking accident, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I wanted an upgrade of the collarbone, so we got a plate put in it and 10 screws or something.
So it was a voluntary elective surgery, was it?
I mean, I'm looking at it like that now. But she hasn't been a great start to the year, to be completely honest. I think I'll get going in August.
Yeah.
Just
come
in
back
time
after
for
the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, we'll have a sprint till Christmas.
Yeah.
But it's been a bit of a niggly year.
Bit of a cruiser. Fair enough. One thing I wanted to ask you about is obviously I'd kind of heard about you guys before I came and worked at Trade Group and stuff, just because I think you'd won the awards at the Christchurch conference and stuff. Loved the name and the branding. Where did that come from?
Oh, that was actually quite comical. Hadley used to work with us. He was the man with Tobes.
Yeah.
And Tobes would be getting a call in the van. Like, should we call it this? He's like, what about this? Tobes is just like,
just going on about it.
They were working together at Laser, and I'd be ringing him. I'm like, what about this? And Tobes is like, mate, you've lost your mind.
Yeah.
I said, does this sound all right to you? And he goes, yeah, that could work. And it was just, yeah. There was some shockers on the table, though, to be fair. One thing that I've never liked is, although I don't want to offend anyone, but
the name.
There's some vanilla business names out there. It's like someone or other electrical, and you're just like, fuck. He sat down and scratched his head for that, didn't he?
90% of sparky companies, I swear, are like John Smith Electrical.
Yeah,
It's like
Missionary
Terry the
Electrical.
Tiler, Pete the Plumber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's also some real out there ones as well. The down the line somewhere, I think. There's actually a company called Sex Electrical. It stands for something, but it's SEX all over the vans.
There's some young bloke up north at the moment who's just gone out on his own plumbing by the looks of it. He's got the Pornhub logo, and it's called Plumhub.
Plumhub.
I was just like, you must be taking the piss.
Who's your target market there?
Oh,
just young blokes,
young pests
in the mother's basements.
Yeah.
Because they'll have heaps of cash.
Yep.
And wire up a 3-phase flashlight for them, swim right out in the big bucks.
Don't worry, that trade, it's just in general. I don't actually know how it's a trade, really. There's
plumbing.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you realise pipe go downhill, you're qualified. You know what I mean?
Water flows downhill. Payday Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, you're qualified. Don't eat the last bite of your sandwich. That's it.
Yeah, plumbers are bombers. I'm in the handling pipe all day. Jesus Christ. You like shit and pipe.
I'd have to say there's a fair few more memes that point badly to Sparkies.
We cop it so bad, eh? There's all these like guys who have kind of made their place in social media by doing the tradie kind of piss takes.
They just get a flogging every time.
We are homosexuals every time. Every time with heaps of money.
Can you just say the royal we? I'm not actually a Sparky.
You'd still cop it, mate.
We
do.
The same they land on my plate as well.
Yeah. Every Sparky is portrayed as a homosexual male in a Ferrari who rocks up to site in jandals and then hurts himself.
And then leaves a mess.
And it's not true. Honestly. It's not true. I've checked.
Yeah, leaving the mess part, we've been tarred with that.
Only like a handful of my boyfriends have ever been Sparkies. I swear to God, mate. mainly scaffolders, and they got a taste for it in prison.
I knew this would go one or two ways.
We're here for a good time, mate.
Yep, very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
So, so you're 6 years in thereabouts, right?
Probably closer to 8. think Tobes for 8.
Yeah, because obviously you were 1 foot in, 1 foot out at the beginning. So what's the goal? What's the aim of the game with Big Bang?
We sort of done it for just to make it a better lifestyle for our families, you know. Mum and Dad still with us, quite close. Both of us. They help Tobes out a lot with his kids.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't really know what the end goal is. Probably just keep on in the same direction.
Yeah.
We don't want to get it to a point where it's chaos, but we don't want to get it to a point where we're killing ourselves to get by. We like it so everyone's sort of coming up with us, you know, like we like to think we pay our guys quite well. They're good blokes, you know, and we have some good times with them outside of work, you know. I like to consider them mates. And I don't know. I don't know what the end game is.
Just building an entity for your future and everyone involved. Yeah,
something to fund the retirement, I guess.
Kind of almost lifestyle Sparkies, but going a bit bigger, got a bit more on type of thing.
Yeah. Tobes would like to call it a working holiday.
Oh, hey.
But no, we work when we have to, for sure.
Everybody's just looking to earn as much money as possible while sitting on their ass as much as possible. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there's only room for one of them, though.
Yeah,
so.
Unless unless you're a David Goggins type, carry the boats type thing. But I think most people are just looking for an efficient way to earn money.
Yeah. Something that you can control as well.
Yeah. Now, obviously in the aircon space, something that kind of pricked my ears at one time when I was coming up to see was you kind of work pretty closely with one of the AC manufacturers, right? We can say or not say who it is, but you've built such a reputation with them by the sounds of it that they actually feed you work. Is that right?
Yeah. So Mitsubishi Electric. I've worked with them for 20 odd years.
Yeah.
At some level.
Yeah.
They're just good to work with.
And you just built a relationship with them.
Yeah, it started when I was down here and I was using their gear around the country and.
Because you would have been doing big numbers for them as well, eh?
Well, not so much. Like we were sort of bulk retail, so we were doing like sort of big 100+ kilowatt units and whatever. But the high wall side of things, you know, Tom, Dick, and Harry are doing them. You know, every brand on the market. Yeah. And one thing I always wanted to try and do was keep things simple. You know, so thankfully I stuck with Mitsubishi because you learn their product. Yeah. You know the ins and outs of it. Their tech support's awesome. Mm-hmm. Good customer service.
Yeah.
And they look after you.
Yeah. I'd never really come across that too much before, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
I sort of stuck up for them a few times. We were a design build company, so I'd never really got on with consultants or like being told this is how you have to do something.
Yeah. There's always a better way, right?
Yeah, we had in-house engineers and draftsmen and stuff, and so we'd say, right, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do, and then I'd ring Mitz and go, hey, I need 50 heat pumps for this job we're doing up and whatever, and they're like, what job's that? You know, like expecting it to be coming through the big quoting machine, and I was like, oh, no, it's this one that was spec'd in. He's like, bloody hell.
You know? So you're not in the tender process as such.
And that actually probably will come back to that, but it was definitely a case of we're doing a good job, we get the next job. And then we did some design work. We ended up getting Countdown.
Yep.
Worked out a pretty cunning way to save them a mountain of energy that they were going to be wasting otherwise.
Yep.
Then we basically got it to a point where the power savings, they were probably going to get a free install for the 10th one, you know?
Yeah.
So...
And like, how are you going about that? Is it the like Doctrons or is it the gear in there?
It's basically using the rejected heat from their refrigeration. So
Okay.
my boss Jack, it was so good. You know, it was just him and me for 3 or 4 years,
Yeah.
and he's probably as close to a mad rocket scientist as you'll find.
Okay.
He's splitting image of Boris the Blade off Snatch.
Oh yeah.
Boris the fucking mate. He's and he is that mad, and he sort of really taught me how to handle yourself and those sort of things. But being from Croatia and having that sort of European mannerisms and all that sort of stuff, you know, he would have no problem going into a meeting, into a room full of architects and consultants.
You're all wrong.
And he'd say with all due respect, and then he would be like, You're an idiot, mate.
Yeah.
But because he's like, it's not offensive in his head that he's said that first, and I'm just like, getting secondhand blimmin' embarrassment because he's just shredding these guys apart. But he backed it up, and his numbers, everything was real quick, freehand, and I'd sort of have to make good of it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then, but he didn't get it wrong.
But he didn't conform just because that's what you do.
Nah,
He's like, there's a better way to do this, so let's do it.
Yeah, and
thing.
he was like old school qualified mechanical engineer, like psychometric chart. This is what
I don't know what that is, but yes,
okay.
sounds.
So it's like a chart that you can use for calculating heat requirements.
Okay, yeah.
And he would work these things out. Then he'd go to Temper Zone, and he'd be like, "Okay, they'd develop a unit." We'd developed a unit, and
it's good to say. I used to do a lot of sort of like mains infrastructure work for civil companies or just developments that we were doing and stuff. And I remember because I used to get the engineered plans all the time and just quote it as is, and then as my confidence grew, there were a few times where I was like, "This is bullshit. The way they've designed this, I can do this so much cheaper, more efficiently."
Yeah.
And the first time I challenged an engineer, it was a nightmare. They were trying to throw the book at me, going, "Well, you know, it's all going to be your liability," and it took me ages to get it signed off.
Yeah.
But in the end, we did, and we saved, like, just on that little job, I think we saved the civil company like 70 grand just for like running the mains infrastructure differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that when you do stuff like that, it does get you that reputation of going above and beyond.
Yeah.
And that can really bust the doors open for you for other work, right?
And because we sort of created the whole documentation from design to build, you're sort of self-regulating a little bit.
Yeah.
Some of the time there'd be a peer reviewing consultant that'd come through and they'd be like, "What have you done here?" And
is that like for you PS4?
Yep, PS4, but like more client protection, I guess, because you know you're talking with sort of main plant and all that sort of stuff, and they'll be coming through and be almost learning to a point. So that paved the way to sort of show me it was a lot more of who and what you know and backing yourself and creating. We've taken the same sort of approach in our business, where instead of getting into that dogfight on the tender market, you know, and although it's hitting that, you know, everyone's having to go and dip into the tender market at the moment. If you can sort of control a client, or not control, work with the client, work with the builder, you're going to end up in a better position than someone who's pricing a house with 6 other dudes and the fifth guy's got no work and he's charging at $40 an hour, you know?
It's a difficult one because it can be hard, and especially when people are going through hard times and you go and stick to your guns and it's all relationship, but it really is. As long as you're doing a great job and hopefully you've got some kind of point of difference, like going that extra mile or just being smarter than your average bear on the jobs that you're doing. But, you know, you've got to have a reasonably wide customer base because you can't have all your eggs in one basket. But you can't just jump around like just, you know, lowest price and working for anybody and, you know, it's just there's no longevity in it, right?
Yeah, you would have seen it as well. Like one thing that we try and sort of stay to with electrical and aircon.
not jumping into solar and
Well, that was one thing I said at the start to Tobes. I was like, nothing makes me laugh more than seeing a van and it's got, we do data, we do security.
Plastering.
Yeah, mate. You know?
I know.
Because you look at that and you're like, what do you actually do? Because you can't be good at all of that stuff.
Yeah. I was very much that as a Sparky Light. I was kind of very traditional Sparky Light, mains, switchboards, loved a one gang switch, no bending over very quick.
I can even do those there.
Yeah, they're not too complex. As long as it's not got a two-way on it. Then I'm a bit scuppered.
Yeah, that's a phone a friend.
But that's what we were good at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, this is before I went into business. But I didn't want to look at automation. One, because it didn't excite me, and two, because I knew fuck all about it. But I'm like, I'm not going to go and try and pretend I'm excited about that and have a go at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, even within that basic electrical space, you can still specialize in that area, you know what I mean? Like,
and just do it well.
Yeah, just stuff that other people don't do, whether it's like, you know, we know street lighting inside and out, or we know mains inside and out, or, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But I think there's very much a view that people think they have to do everything, and they tend to do all of it not very well.
Yeah.
You know, because every man and his dog's jumping at solar at the minute, and you can see why, because it's it's already growing like crazy, and it's going to be a huge growth area.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be. I think when I moved here, sort of 16 years ago, like every man and his dog was getting into heat pumps, like it was going crazy, high walls, like you say, and it was advertised everywhere. Oh, we'll come and chuck one in for $800 fixed price or whatever it was, you know. And I think that's about to happen with solar, you know.
Yep.
So I think there's definitely opportunity there, but it's you're gonna have to try if you're gonna get in now.
Yep.
And become more educated on it than everyone else.
Yeah.
You know,
it'd stretch us too thin. If we put the solar hat on.
Yeah.
We're probably stretched too thin with what we do at the moment. As far as being able to do something well, maybe not, but you know, just the basics, what we're good at, and
that's good, man. Because it's been tricky coming back to that tender thing. Like, I've had to dip into that. I think it was mid-2023. We'd be talking to our builders and some of the construction companies and stuff, and they would be like, I've not had a tender come on my desk for 3 months at this point. And we were like, oh, shit, we can see it coming, you know. My background was more the big commercial apartment buildings, you know, big daycares, stuff like that. So we dipped into that, and it got us through, but at a terrible cost. Like, I think our conversion rate was less than 10% to win what we needed for the year sort of thing, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then that's when we decided, nah.
They say it's pretty easy to buy a job, you know?
Yeah, but when you're trying to win them and make some money, pretty tricky.
I think these quiet times, they're definitely going to weed out a few.
Yeah.
Which is good.
The positives I've seen in it, particularly for younger companies, is if this is the first really challenging time they've been through, there's sort of one comment that you know it's not going to last, and they go, oh, the phone stopped ringing. And they're essentially letting the market control their business.
Yeah.
And then you've got the other guy who's like, I ring 50 people a day.
Yeah.
You know, I get 50 no's, and then I try again the next day.
Yeah.
I've spent the time trying to get more visibility on the financial side of my business, the reporting.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to tighten up the operation in the off season, if you like, you know?
Yeah. Well, my current sort of forced off season, I've been head down, bum up, sort of with that side of it, and just sort of finding opportunity, I guess. If you're not, like, constantly feel like you're in a headwind, like for the last sort of 2 years, you know, it hasn't been plain sailing.
Yeah.
But we were kind of spoilt with that post-COVID, let's call it a sprint, 21, 22.
Yeah.
And then it started tapering off. But I'd say if you're not out there sort of putting yourself out there, chasing people, just expecting it to land on your lap.
Yeah. The phone stopped ringing.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
You can either sit and watch it or you could pick it up and, they work both ways, eh?
Yeah, exactly. yeah. Nah, it's funny. The whole thing of sitting there waiting for the phone to ring, like you almost just shouldn't be in business,
Yeah.
But I see I can certainly see why a lot of people are disheartened at the minute or have been, because if you look at it from like a kind of mental perspective since COVID and afterwards was quite a good period of business, but none of us knew what the future held. Like we'd never been through any of that, so it was actually quite an anxious period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it wasn't like, oh, this is the good times, we're booming. We were like, shit, when's it going to fall over?
Yeah.
And then we've actually started to go through it.
We found that we were probably doing things less efficient then, like.
Oh, yeah, when the times are good.
You're sprinting and you're like, fuck is going
Customer
on,
rings you and you're like, ugh, I'll see one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
almost spoilt for choice as far as things go, and you're just like, everyone was hissing though.
Well, that's the thing, though. We're going through a period like this now, and the good guys will tighten the shit right up. They've got the foot on the gas, really gunning to run a tight ship and make some money. And then times get good and it gets all lax again. If you can keep it running lean and mean, you're going to clean up when it picks up again.
Yeah, I agree with that, as long as you're getting the right things in place now. Like, if you're still just getting by, like, which, if you're managing to get by now and just keep moving forward, then when the wind gets behind you, then it's going to be sweet.
Yeah, be easier, but that's when we go, bugger it, we'll just go to the pub today, right?
Yeah. More time for fishing.
Yeah, 100%. So what do you do outside of work? What are
bit
you
of bike
mate?
riding, bit of fishing, family stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a boat?
No.
No? It's the best way, mate. You don't have to clean it.
Yeah, well, you probably should be cleaning it if you... yeah. Best mate's got a boat. He's forever using it, so...
Yeah. Yeah, not a bad spot to be for fishing.
No, that's bloody good.
Yeah, where do you go out of Whangārei or up to Carcaways or something?
Probably a bit further north, Bay of Islands most of the time.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice.
We've I think we've won that J.A. Russell's comp up there the last 3 years in a row, just quietly.
Yeah, do you know Muggsy from Full Power?
Is he the one who had the dolphin land on him?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, because he'd asked me.
That would have been a good catch, just quietly.
Well, I thought they should have won the comp.
He should have chucked a blanket on it and just straight to the boat ramp.
Like, why did you get disqualified for that? It's
good eating dolphin.
Yeah. Never tried it, but
no, neither.
Yeah. I mean,
I know a guy.
I was going to tell a story.
That's another
there,
story.
But I won't. Yeah, I'll tell you a story about dolphins after this. That might be a bit too far for the podcast. All right, mate. So, any advice out there for the young fellas? Give us a gem. What have you learned over there that was, you wish somebody had told you?
Just
that you're willing to give out.
Yeah, well, you learn a lot more when it's your bank account that you're watching flood out, you know. The whole tax side of it is a constant learning curve. Financial literacy was never a thing in school.
No.
It's pretty readily available to find info if you dig for it. But, just knowing numbers, man.
Yep, I'd agree. Let's, obviously, we had Luke from Keep the Change on earlier this season. So if you do want to find out more about that, that's a great resource for us.
He's created a pretty positive platform there that there's so much there that you're listening, you're like,
Yeah,
know,
he just presents it in such a digestible way, and it's actually really interesting.
And he's young, and he's got some good energy.
Yeah.
You'd struggle to find most accountants. So, you know,
He's a machine.
Hold an audience like that.
He's a machine, mate. When he came in here, I just felt like a dumb loser after our conversation.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's a machine.
Yeah. And then the QS you had on as well.
David. Yeah. Same
doing
thing.
some cool
Super
stuff.
motivated.
Yeah.
Just out there doing it. So yeah, no, it's good to see.
Yeah. So probably just know your numbers, and it's baptized by fire. Like, I wouldn't be starting a business now. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I'd wait until.
Yeah, it's not a great time.
No. I'd wait until everyone's fighting over it before you can.
I actually just a little anecdote for you. It was somebody who you know. I won't say names, but I actually had a guy get in touch not too long ago, and sort of talked about starting a business, and I was like, what? Why now? Why are you looking to start an electrical business now? I can't find a job. I was like, keep looking. Keep looking. It's not the time, brother.
No, not at all.
Not
at all.
Yeah, well, I think we've sort of covered most of it off there. Have you got anything to add?
No, nothing of value.
Nothing of value.
Got some great stories, but I'm sure we could probably tell you those another day.
I mean, it doesn't have to be of value.
No. No wisdom there.
All right, sweet as. Well, look, thanks very much for coming on, mate.
No problem.
Bloody lovely to have a long form chat with you. I think it's the first time we've done it. So
Yep.
Yeah, bloody good, mate. And yeah, thank you very much for listening. Stay safe out there. Keep puzzling.
Keep puzzling.
Keep puzzling, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.